Good afternoon, guys. It's a glorious sunny Sunday afternoon or early afternoon in London. It's you know what, the sun is out and it's quite strong, but the wind is also quite high, so it's not like sweltering or unnecessarily humid. It's just great, and yeah. So I wanted to respond to Finegra. I'm going to put the link to this article, and I really encourage everybody to follow Finegra as much as possible. I'm going to put her link, her Twitter page. I'm also going to put the link to Meredith Constant. I will lie. I won't lie. I came in very hot, but sitting down in the sun and just breathing, doing my deep breaths has been very relaxing for me. And yeah, let's get to it. So the article, the Sophie Chandauka Sentibele fallout deserves honest scrutiny. Couldn't agree more. Misogynoir or mismanagement? The Sentibele crisis that drove out its trustees. I'm not going to give you the full spiel because we've already, we have the history, and we've already gone through some of the points that were raised last night um, about some of the points from the Times. One thing I will add though is from the Times, Baroness Lady Cholka, a trustee of nearly 20 years, described Chandoka's leadership as dictatorial. According to reports, tensions have been growing since December last year. Chandoka had reportedly spent over 500,000 on consultants, failed to deliver on fundraising promises, and allegedly requested a 300k salary for her unpaid volunteer role, and asked that shocked board members when trustees requested her resignation as they have a right to. She refused and filed a lawsuit to block their vote. In response, every single member has resigned. A couple of things on this lawsuit. Guys, for those of you who saw my short yesterday, I mentioned that CNN said they did not see any evidence of this injunction being filed, and a source close to the matter said no such injunction was filed. So it's interesting that she told everybody this is what's happened. And this is why, guys, you will notice it took me a few days to respond. And I still stand by what I said. The more we get of the story, the more we get information that is verifiable and true. I don't know if the board themselves demanded to see an injunction, but I believe that they must have taken her word for it, because if I've asked you to resign, as is my right as a trustee to a charity, and you tell me that you've gone to court to block that request, I'll take you at your word. But like I said, the legal team, I believe the trustee, the Sentibele, will have a legal team. I believe Harry himself will have his own lawyers. I'm going to give my thoughts on some of her responses, but my general response, my proper response, is going to wait until Harry comes out. And the reason for that is I don't want this to turn. I know many people are going to be jumping on the engagement board, and I told you guys on my channel, the one thing we are not going to do is turn into a place that just hawks sensationalism. We've already seen what that has done to Meghan's reputation and Harry's reputations. We're not going to repeat those same mistakes here. Harry and Meghan have got this. Let's let them handle it. But I think for me, the reason why I wanted to respond to Finegra as a black woman is to talk about the weaponization of discrimination and misogynoir to hide incompetence. This is why I really like this article. So let me continue. Now let's talk through some of the points. As already mentioned yesterday, a curious return and a refusal to leave. What puzzles many is why Chandoka fought so hard to stay in a voluntary position. Yeah, she previously served as a Sentibele trustee between 2009 and 2015, only to return as a chair in 2023. But instead of stepping down when the board lost confidence, she doubled down, sued the charity to remain in place, and accused the board of racism, misogyny, and misogynoir. Her statement, published widely and reported by the media, positioned her as a whistleblower standing up against the culture of abuse. However, multiple board members and insiders, including long-serving trustee Kelelo Lurtoli, said they never witnessed any abuse and racism. Baroness Cholka also rejected these claims, describing the board as faithful and honest. Here is a video of it.
The chair has made some incredibly serious allegations in her statement, including allegations of harassment, bullying, misogyny. As one of the trustees, how do you respond to those allegations?
I can honestly say, in my experience, in the meetings I was present in, there was never even a hint of such. The general tone and conduct of the board has been one of respect for each other, accommodating each other's opinions and inputs, and speaking with respect to each other. So this all came as a shock to me when I heard.
Now, do you remember? I want to give some context into the Telegraph article because I used it in my video yesterday. The press, as you can see here, is largely split on the story. I don't know about largely split. From what I've seen, they've all kind of they immediately jumped on Harry. But I can. But let me give my thoughts on this immediately on this largely split point here. While the Telegraph, which I recapped yesterday, blamed Chandauka's woke decolonization of the charity and urged Prince Harry to get back in the saddle, others like The Independent, Afua Hirsch, focused on the misogynoir accusations. Hirsch criticized how society only seemed to take the term seriously once it was attached to Prince Harry. And this is, guys, yesterday I was very passionate and very angry, and I'm still very angry, but I'm a bit nuanced about it now. My anger as a visibly black woman is, and as somebody who works in corporate, there is a danger to what this woman is doing. The first one is, I don't need to tell black women for those of us who are black, you know exactly what I am talking about trying to exist in the white man culture corporate world, right? How initially things are a bit better now because people are scared of being sued, but still the black women do not have the protections they deserve. Black women are undermined, disrespected, bullied at work. In many cases, they are forced to step down. Right? So this is part of the reason why it took me a minute. I was like, no. I understand it's Prince Harry and people are always out to get him, but let me get to the details. But now that I've understood what has gone on and I'm beginning to get more information, the fact that Sophie is weaponizing her blackness in this way is pissing me off. I don't know if you guys recall, there was a term I used once when I was responding to According to Taz, when she was like, Meghan supporters play the race card. And I was like, the instant somebody says this nonsense to you, take it as they don't believe you and you should try and exit that conversation as quickly as possible. So it's going to be very hypocritical of me to come here and say I don't like the term very hypocritical of me to use the exact same term to describe this woman, but that's exactly what she's doing. And interestingly, yesterday I didn't mention it, but this part where she said she previously served as a trustee. So if she's saying that while she was a trustee, nobody weaponized racism or misogyny against her. So why is it when she finally stepped in as a CEO? And that is what makes what she's doing very insidious. Because part of the reason why they brought her in, as well as her allegations of being able to raise $50 million for her Delaware-based company, and the fact that she was the head of or the founder of Black British Business Awards, this is probably part of the reason why they felt comfortable voting her into that position. And to see her turn around and do this is deeply upsetting to me, frankly. It's really upsetting to me, and that's why I'm very angry. Now let's continue. Sophie Chandauka's credibility is now under question. Indeed, Chandauka's background looks impressive on paper. A Zimbabwean-born lawyer trained in London, she held senior positions at Morgan Stanley and Meta. Her Wikipedia once highlighted her role in high-profile deals, including hostile takeover bid for the London Stock Exchange. However, that section was quietly scrubbed in late March, raising eyebrows. Chandauka received an honorary Doctor of Administration from Business Administration from Coventry University in 2023. While she now uses the title doctor, it's worth noting this was not an academic doctorate earned through research or study. Instead, it was awarded for her professional achievements. Though given the growing financial concerns surrounding her recent ventures, some may reasonably question what exactly those achievements are. So you see what's going to happen here, right? By spoiling her reputation, she's making people scrutinize her. All of this could have been avoided if she had just stepped down. After serving as Sentebele's trustee, Chandauka spent nearly a decade away from the charity before returning as a chair in 2023. What she did in that time now invites fresh scrutiny. During those years, she built a public profile as a corporate executive and diversity advocate. She co-founded the British Business Awards, an organization that later played a role in her receiving an MBE in 2021 for services to diversity in business. But by the time she returned to Centerbelly, her track record told a more complicated story. BBBA's latest filings reveal serious financial trouble: 387,000 in debt, 197,000 owed to the HMRC, and 462,000 in other liabilities. Chandauka quietly resigned from the company in June 2024, just months before the Centerbelly board will start questioning her leadership and spending. There is a pattern of leaving businesses in debt. I'm sorry, let me just say it. This pattern is hard to ignore. A once promising advocate for business reform has left one she agrees with me. Has left one organization in the red and is now embroiled in controversy at another. Dragging Meghan into the narrative distracts from Sophie's accountability. Indeed, in her interview with Financial Times, which we went through yesterday, Sophie Chandauka claimed Prince Harry's team once told her to defend Meghan Sussex in the press. She says she refused, framing it as a boundary against becoming an extension of the Sussex PR machine. But the mention of Meghan, who has had no involvement in Centerbelly's operations, feels like a deliberate distraction. It was. Chandauka knows Meghan's name triggers headlines, especially among media outlets eager to pit women against each other. Chandauka's weaponization of identity language becomes even harder to stomach when you consider how she has handled the Centerbelly's website. The homepage features a cryptic slogan: talked about yes, distracted never. For a charity built on transparency and trust, this feels unnecessarily antagonistic and professional. Yep. See this? Those of you who can't see, please zoom in. You see this? To invoke Black Lives Matter and misogynoir while erasing the black co-founder of Centerbelly is not activism. It's calculated distraction. It's especially troubling given that Sophie Chandauka is now accusing Prince Harry of harassment and bullying at scale by unleashing the Sussex machine. I still don't know what that means. As reported on Sky News, a source close to the former trustees swiftly dismissed the claims as baseless. Guys, we've gone through that in my short. So Sophie drops buzzwords: Harry, Meghan bullying, while sitting beside Prince William's ally, Ian Rawlinson, whom she made a trustee the day after Harry stepped down. Now she blames the Sussex machine? Indeed. Sorry guys, I was trying to avoid. Okay, let me go back. Yeah. It's important not to get sidetracked by the noise. The real issue is that an entire board of trustees lost confidence in Sophie Chandauka's leadership. This situation was never about Prince Harry personally. It was about governance, accountability, and trust, financial mismanagement, and new fundraising vision. Chandauka had audaciously defended her actions in multiple interviews, claiming she was transforming the charity strategy to reflect post-Black Lives Matter values. She said Centerbelly's structures, created in 2006, was no longer fit for purpose. She aimed to move decision-making to South Africa and secure US-based funding. But she didn't deliver. The Miami Polo fundraiser collapsed. No new donors emerged. Income dropped from 4.5 million to 3.4 million between 2022 and 2023, as shown in the charity's public filings. In the same period, Centerbelly's patron, Prince Harry, gave 1.5 million from his book Spare. Chandauka, meanwhile, lavishly spent on consultants and shifted focus to vague goals like climate resilience. In her FT interview, Chandauka claimed, without offering evidence, that Prince Harry's brand, see guys, I told you yesterday, Prince Harry's brand had become toxic and made it harder to recruit. And this is why I was telling you guys that I want to see the evidence of people saying, I won't work in this charity because it's Prince Harry. People saying that I will not raise funds for this charity because it's Prince Harry. But for nearly 20 years, the charity thrived with Harry as its lead. Her argument falls apart when she insists his presence was harmful, yet also warns that his exit will hurt the charity. Told you guys. The contradiction exposes how weak her claims are. This part is very crucial and important, and I hope you guys have stayed with me till here, because it's very important for those of you that are not black women and don't understand why this is very passionately upsetting to someone like me. When identity becomes a shield for power, the terms misogynoir and decolonization are not buzzwords. Yeah, they reflect real struggles that black women have faced for generations. But when someone like Sophie uses them to deflect from serious allegations of financial mismanagement, failed leadership, it doesn't advance the cause, it exploits it. It's not activism. Yes, it is betrayal. There are more contradictions. She served as a member of the British Empire Honor. Sorry, she accepted a member of the British Empire Honor while later attempting to decolonize a charity co-founded by a British prince in honor of his mother's memory. If she found the charity's culture problematic, she could have simply walked away, especially when the founders and trustees no longer supported her leadership. Instead, she fought to stay, alienated staff, and risked the charity's reputation and funding. Worse still, when these claims are made against a board that included African leaders like Prince Siso, Dr. Lerotholi, and Audrey, I can't pronounce this, I'm so sorry, a black woman, it becomes clear that this isn't about racism or sexism, it's about power. To weaponize identity against your own community for personal gain is the definition of selling out. When someone cloaks self-interest in social justice language, it cheapens the movement. Yes, real people have fought and died for. Misusing the pain of black women to protect one's position is not just unethical, it is harmful. So I want to just focus on this a bit as a black woman myself. This is why I'm angry, guys. Because some of you are coming into my chats, I know you're trolls, to come and kind of say, I thought you said believe on black women. This is how I know when racist and stupid people are talking. Yeah? You people act like we don't have nuance. The instant I heard this story, I knew it was going to be BS. But I also wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. Because, again, as somebody who has suffered misogynoir, and suffers misogynoir, it's very important to me to ensure that people are heard. Let's hear what she has to say. Another, it's been found that she's someone who wrecks businesses, accrues huge amounts of debt because she's obviously trying to promote a lifestyle that she cannot support, or the businesses that she has aligned herself cannot support. It's just very painful. There are people that are today and every day suffering misogynoir at their places of work, in their own businesses. I've heard cases of women, black women, who started businesses and were hostilely forced to either step down, sell the business for their own peace of mind because they were harassed. I've heard women of color who have struggled to get to senior leadership roles because it's too difficult to pass those interviews, intentionally intended to keep them out of those roles. Or if they are able to somehow get in, they are frustrated out of those opportunities through being undermined and being bullied at work. And you want me to come here and just raise my hand and kiki for this ridiculous woman? I've told you guys before that black women who use their positions of power or any platform they are given to promote white supremacy talking points are poison to me. Stoning is too good for you people, frankly. And for those of you that come into my page and say, why must every black woman keep? I believe, I'm sorry, but you don't have a choice. You really don't. I'm sorry, you don't. You don't get to choose what part of the struggle you're going to be part of and what you're not. I'm sorry. You're the one that wants the platform. With that platform comes responsibility. Everything you say, you have to be careful. I don't know where I'll get to. When I started in January, I had maybe, 3 followers. Now I have 2K. I've put a goal for the end of the year to hopefully get to 5. But I don't even, because I can't even fathom having that many people following me, honestly. But if you come into my channel and you expect me to use my platform to push negative stereotypes of black people, you are on the wrong place. There's no amount of money or engagement that is so important to me that I will do something like that. I'm just sorry. I want money. You think I don't want money? Of course I want money. I want to live a good life. But to me, that is a price too high to pay. What Sophie has done really pisses me off. And I don't think I'll be able to move past it anytime soon. This is why I'm very determined that she goes down. Sophie, you are a bully. Sophie, you have abused your power. The fact that you went on Sky News today and you went with Ian Rawlinson, the ex-CEO of Prince William's Tusk Trust, knowing the message it was sending, being unnecessarily antagonistic. The trustees have a right to ask you to step down, and you will step down. But I want you to know something. You are only going to ruin your reputation. Very quickly, I also want to touch about Telegraph. Yesterday evening, my brain at that point couldn't understand why the Telegraph, of all people, appeared to be largely on Harry's side. Then it clicked. Thanks to MeredithConstant. I'm going to link her post because Meredith is incredible. This is not about Harry or the charity. This is about dismantling. They are using Sophie as a weapon, a very welcome and happy weapon, to further dismantle DEI initiatives, guys. That's what this is about. They are using her to push an agenda. This is a culture war. This is a message to the people who are reading in between the lines of that article, to the racists, to the people that are anti-DEI. This article, this whole situation is Christmas for them. They're like, you see, hire a black woman, give her elevation, and this is what she does. That's why the guy was pushing for Harry to take his charity back. Not because he cared about the truth. They don't give a shit about Harry. But because they're using her in a wider culture war. That is what Sophie has allowed herself to turn into. A weapon to be used to put people to create such a toxic environment. People that look like her will probably never get an opportunity like that again with any other charity, or if they do, they will come under undue, unnecessary, and dehumanizing scrutiny. Everything they say will be questioned. They'll be like, "Oh well, we don't want a Sophie Chandauka situation." This is why I tell you people, when you get to a certain level, especially if you're black, there are things you can't say and things you have to be careful you don't do, because you spoil it for everybody else, whether you intended to or not. The prince's absence leaves a leadership vacuum. Prince Harry helped fund Centibele personally, opening doors with donors, and lent the charity international visibility. His mother's legacy as a champion of HIV and AIDS awareness was core to the charity's brand. Prince Cecil, too, represented African royalty, ensuring the charity was never a top-down British endeavour. Their departure leaves Centibele at crossroads. The new board, led by Ian Rawlinson, the former Tusk Trust chair with ties to Prince William, has a difficult task ahead. Rawlinson's appointment has already raised questions about whether this is a quiet return to royal influence, at this time from William's side. Meanwhile, right-wing media have seized the fallout to paint Harry as an unstable, overbearing, unfit-to-lead leader. The Sunday Telegraph ran a front-page headline declaring Harry a bully, while the Mail accused Harry and Meghan of being too toxic for the charity. These narratives echo long-running tabloid attempts to undermine the Sussex's charity and credibility and humanitarian work. Another very interesting point that I didn't think about. Harry and Meghan have had very successful charities and philanthropic work, which a lot of people want to undermine, because William and his wife don't have anything to show for it. Earthshot's Prize, which is actually a very good initiative, William is about to be the King of England. So there's no reason why he couldn't have done more with that charity, instead of turning it into an unnecessary celebrity award show nonsense that nobody watches, doesn't gain any ratings, but wastes money. Whatever money I'm sure he makes fundraising, they probably blow it every year on their stupid Headshot Awards show. How about, instead of doing awards, you just reward people the way Harry and Meghan do, with actual financial compensation when they meet sustainability targets? But no, because they want to tap into that Hollywood lifestyle, they blow what should be a lot of taxpayer. And again, we will never know how much Headshot wastes on this frivolous nonsense, because they don't bring their books open for scrutiny. And even if they did, the British press would not waste their time doing that, because that's not the narrative they are trying to push. Instead, everything Harry and Meghan does, every penny they spent, is scrutinized by the British media. Centibele's legacy must be protected from politics. I agree. For nearly 20 years, Centibele supported children living with HIV and AIDS in Lesotho and Botswana. It challenged stigma, empowered local leaders, and respected cultural context in which it worked. That legacy should not be erased and tainted by power struggles, lawsuits, or misplaced rhetoric. Sophie Chandauka may see herself as a reformer, but her leadership has caused division. Her actions suggest an effort not to transform Centibele, but to control it. And when challenged, she used the language of injustice to silence legitimate criticism. It is now up to the Charity Commission to sort out the claims. So yeah, guys, beautiful article, like I said, by the wonderful Feminegra. I'll provide a link. Please, I encourage you guys to read these things yourself. While I appreciate everybody is busy and has a life, the information is out there for you. Go and read it yourself. Don't listen to me or any other content creator. Go out there and make your own mind up, because as we've seen, language is a fascinating thing. What means something to me might mean something else to you. And to black women that are watching this and are frustrated, and anybody who's supporting Megan and continues to be frustrated by what appears to be the continuous harassment that she gets from the British media, and how it seems like no matter what positive strides she makes, there's always somebody out there willing to use her name to get her destroyed in the press. I want you to take heart. I want you to take heart. To me, everything that is happening right now is a sign that whatever Harry and Meghan are doing is working. The British media knows that Meghan is about to become a billionaire with her business ventures. There's no amount of... They've been screaming for 10 years, guys. Nothing has stopped her. So there's literally... I don't think there's anything that can be said. If you don't like Meghan, you don't like Meghan. Nothing is going to change your mind. If you like her, clearly nothing is going to change your mind either. Let her get on with the business with the businesses she's building. She's fine. I really do think that Harry and Meghan, now especially Meghan, now that she wants to be out there selling a business, has had to approach PR in a different way. No more just allowing people to just say and do what they like when their reputations financially are on the line. I have no doubt in my mind Harry is going to Harry, either directly or through the trustees, is going to respond to this woman, because to the point that was made earlier, this will have a knock-on impact on the philanthropic work they are doing. And if they don't, and they have a vested interest in ensuring that whatever response they give, it protects their reputation, otherwise their philanthropic work will suffer. As for the sabotage currently ongoing, because in my mind it is sabotage, I really hope that Harry fights to keep his charity. There's no other way to interpret Ian Rawlinson's recruitment and hiring as an act, as an aggressive act, as an antagonistic act. And that's clearly what this was. And I'm very curious to see how the board manage it. But I would say leave it to people. I think what the Sussex squad is doing to a large extent is good. You're asking questions. You are questioning this woman. You are raising concerns, right? But I think we should also remember that we have to be nuanced. You don't want the press, like now she's saying Sussex machinery. That was an intentionally antagonistic comment. She was referring to the people probably online and in her day-to-day that are questioning her. And she's branding all of us that are questioning her as Sussex supporters, instead of people that are genuinely just checking her records. But I believe this is going to get to a legal point, and I believe all the truth will come out there. I also believe that the Charity Commission will do its job and also report findings. And one last thing from me, you know how I said that let it play out. I don't care how long it takes. Don't forget that people for the past 10 years, 8 years, throughout last year, they were saying Harry's and Meghan's marriage is on the rocks, only for Meghan to come back on January and completely destroy that talking point. They've said Meghan's business with Netflix is over, the deals are not going to go anywhere, only for Ted Sarandos to come out and basically give an indication that he's betting on Meghan. So I guess what I want to say is, let's be nuanced. Guys, please like, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. I love hearing from you, and have a happy Sunday.